What's up, guys? So I'm going to make this video on how to disassemble a blaster bottom end. This came in on one of the bikes I took in and I'm parting out. I believe the bottom end's good. The top end was pretty shot. But the rod might still be good, the bearings might still be good, I don't know yet though. But you got some screws in there, and that's the first thing you're going to take out for these covers. We're going to do the clutch first because I got somebody wanting to buy the basket already. But if you don't have an impact driver, definitely get one of those. They're a lifesaver. And then also, you're going to need a 5/16 socket for there's little bolts in there. So there's little bolts in there. You can see one right there. There's a few of them around. There's another one. There's another one. There's a couple on the bottom all around for the clutch cover. So I use like I said, a 5/16 socket, and it's 1/4 inch, and I just use a little extension. Alright, I'm gonna get set up and we'll go. Alright, so I've taken quite a few of these apart. I don't know if my method is the right way or what, but I know it comes apart. So alright, so like I said, there's screws here, your oil injector gears in here. These are the hoses from it. So you want to take all those screws out and these 5/16. But first we're going to take the Kickstarter nut off of there, and then pop that bitch off of there. Let me just grab my arrow, and I apologize, the camera's on my head. I'm too poor to afford a cameraman, so. Alright, so like I was saying, we're going to take that off. It's a 19mm, gun it. Booyah. Alright, I'm going to try to keep everything there. Slides right off. Alright, so like I was saying earlier, get yourself one of these, impact driver. They're awesome. I already banked. Oh my god. That's just my phone ringing. Alright, but I already loosened these last night. Let's speed this up a little bit. Alright, I got the drill. I'm just gonna speed this up just a little bit. What's that make? 4 screws. So yeah, there's 4 screws. You can see the hoses in there. They're still attached with one of those little clips. Take that grommet out. That's definitely worth some money. Not a lot, but people will buy it. Alright, so like I was saying, 5/16. I also loosened these. I don't know what this kid used for gear oil, man, but it fucking stinks. I use Bel-Ray 80 weight. You can use ATF also. Guys like Terry Preston swear by the Yama Lube, what the book calls for. What I like to do when I'm taking a bottom end apart is get Ziploc bags and just label everything. The first time I did mine, that's exactly what I did, and when I put it back together, I knew where everything was at and everything was labeled. I didn't have a fucking clue how to put it back together, but I had all the parts. Thankfully, Ken O'Connor has videos on how to put these back together. The first time I did my bottom end, it took me around a month. Because I had to order tools, parts, this, that, and the other thing. I broke some brand new seals, broke things putting it back together. But without Ken's videos, I would have been so lost. But after I got mine back together, my buddies wasn't shifting right. took it apart and put it back together in one night. So that one I just took out's longer. The whole thing's just gonna pop off. There we go. Alright. Throw that over there. Get the hell out of the way. Alright, so if you don't know by now, this is your clutch. This one looks in fairly decent shape. Alright, so they're actually 8mm. You can use a Phillips head, or I just like to use a socket. It's a little easier. I just like to loosen a little bit at a time. Once you get them loose, good old drill. Those look like the factory ones. Alright, those are out. The whole stack will lift right out of there. I'm gonna flip this down. Oh man, that gear oil stinks. It's gonna go all over the place. It's a very good idea to drain your motor first. I did do that, but there's still some shit left in there. It's gonna come out right now. Alright, so be very careful when you do this. Try to keep your stack together, and I'll show you why. So if you don't know by now, this little thing right there, that's your adjuster. So there's still more plates in here. Wow. Alright, so I got it to pop with a flathead screwdriver. Just be very, very careful you don't damage anything. I've broken these teeth off before, not using the proper tools. So, see this spring right here? Let me get it out of there. The first time I put my clutch back there, the spring fucked me. So this spring needs to go on just like that. So it's a friction plate, a metal plate, and then that spring. But if you take your stack off, like I did, just set that to the side just like that, and then you have the order. Alright, I'm going to flip this up again. Actually first. So, in here in the center, there's a ball bearing. You want that ball bearing, so flip it down. Till that ball bearing comes out. First time I took mine apart, I got a couple hours into it and I was wondering why there was a damn ball bearing laying on my bench. Well, you need that ball bearing. So there's a rod in there too. The rod didn't come out yet though. And there we have the rod. It's actually not too worn. That side's a little worn, a little divot in it. You can use a soft pad on a die grinder and flatten that back out and get better adjustment out of your clutch. So I think this was actually replaced once, just by the condition of the lock washer. I believe that's a 19mm also. It might be a little bigger. Yeah, it's a 20 something. 22 probably. But you can see that lock washer. You don't really want to reuse those. You can, but I don't recommend it. They're fairly cheap. Why mess around? So you want to get that flat again. So you're going to use a hammer and a flat screwdriver. I'm just going to tap it back flat. It's all mauled up. Whoever had this quad was definitely in here, because they do not look like that from the factory. can see damage the inner boss a little bit. It's crazy. Love when people don't know what they're doing. I'm not claiming that I do, but I know more than the damage at. It's going to be a 22 millimeter. You're just going to gun it off. If you don't have a gun, elbow grease, I guess. Alright, so as you saw when I tried to gun it, the inner boss was spinning. You're never going to be able to hold it with your fingers. You're going to tear your fingers all to hell. So, they make a tool, tusk, it's called a clutch holding tool. I highly recommend it. Do not use vice grips on this. I broke my original clutch boss trying to use vice grips because I was too cheap to buy the damn tool. But just put the tool in here. It doesn't have to be super tight, just enough so you can get a grip on it when you gun it. See, that's barely tight. Like I said, 22 millimeter. Just slipped out. Yeah, you don't want it too tight, or you'll crack the damn thing. Alright, here we go again. There we go. Easy as 1, 2, 3 with the right tools. No damage to the boss. Put that over there. We'll use that later. Yeah, that flat washer's pretty effed up. Alright, I got the right size screwdriver. Flip it out of there. Boss lifts out. Man. I mean, it still works, but whoever had this quad just was in here and totally mauled that up. There you go. Pull up. Make sure you get all the pieces to it. There's some washers and a spacer right there. It's magnetized though. No, it ain't magnetized. That's just from the oral. And put all that over here. I was going to keep this bottom end for me, but somebody on my eBay account was asking me if I had a clutch basket. This one looks like it's in pretty good shape, so I always inspect the teeth, any broken teeth along this gear and also on that gear. Right there, it looks pretty good. And then you check in here for wear marks from the clutch slamming into it. There's slight wear, but that's normal. A little bit's not bad. There's nothing's broke, nothing's cracked. This is definitely a good used basket. Money in the bank. Guy that inquired about it will be happy. Alright, and that's pretty much how you remove your clutch off your blaster. You can see all these crazy gears here. We'll get into all that next time.